Innovation begins with a simple yet profound question: why? When we start with why, we move beyond surface level changes and dive into the deeper purpose that fuels true progress. Many companies and individuals focus on what they do and how they do it, but the most transformative innovations come from those who understand the deeper reason behind their work. When people are driven by a strong sense of purpose, they are more likely to think creatively, take risks, and push boundaries. Without a clear purpose, innovation becomes random, unfocused, and often unsustainable. Think about the most groundbreaking companies and movements in history. They didn't just introduce new products or services, they revolutionized the way people thought and behaved. Apple didn't just make computers. They believed in challenging the status quo and making technology more intuitive and accessible. Tesla isn't just about electric cars. It's about accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. These companies didn't just ask, what can we create? They asked, why does this matter? And because of that, their innovations had a lasting impact. The same principle applies in the workplace. Employees who understand the why behind their work are more engaged, motivated, and innovative. When people believe in what they are doing, they don't just clock in and out. They think critically. They find new solutions and they challenge outdated ways of doing things. But in many organizations, employees are disconnected from the why. They follow processes without questioning them. They meet goals without understanding their significance. And as a result, innovation stagnates. Leaders play a crucial role in fostering this sense of purpose. It's not enough to set targets and deadlines. Leaders must inspire their teams with a clear and compelling vision. When leaders communicate the deeper impact of their organization's work, they give their employees something bigger to believe in. They create an environment where innovation is not just encouraged, it's inevitable. Employees who see their work as meaningful are more likely to go the extra mile, experiment with new ideas, and drive continuous improvement. But understanding the why is not just about motivation. It's also about direction. Many companies invest heavily in innovation but struggle to see real results because their efforts are scattered and inconsistent. They chase trends without a clear guiding principle, leading to wasted resources and short-lived changes. But when innovation is anchored in a strong purpose, it becomes focused and strategic. Every decision, every experiment, every new idea is evaluated based on whether it aligns with the company's core mission. This ensures that innovation is not just change for the sake of change, but a meaningful step toward a larger goal. Starting with why also creates a culture of resilience. Innovation is not easy. It involves uncertainty, setbacks, and failures. Organizations that lack a strong why often give up too soon when they face challenges. They abandon projects at the first sign of difficulty and revert to old, familiar ways of working. But companies that have a clear purpose see failures differently. They view them as learning opportunities, as necessary steps on the path to meaningful progress. They persist through obstacles because they know that what they are working toward is worth it. This mindset shift is crucial in today's fast-changing world. Technology is evolving rapidly, industries are being disrupted, and traditional business models are becoming obsolete. Organizations that rely solely on past success without a deeper sense of purpose risk falling behind. But those that start with why are able to adapt and innovate continuously. They don't just react to change. They drive it. They anticipate future needs, explore new possibilities, and create solutions that genuinely make a difference. Employees, too, benefit from embracing this approach. When individuals understand their personal why, the reason they wake up in the morning and do what they do, they find greater fulfillment in their work. They stop seeing their jobs as just a paycheck and start seeing them as opportunities to contribute, grow, and make an impact. This sense of purpose fuels creativity and innovation on an individual level, which, in turn, contributes to a more innovative workplace overall. However, simply stating a why is not enough. It must be embedded in the organization's culture. It must be reflected in hiring decisions, performance evaluations, and everyday interactions. Companies that truly embrace this principle don't just talk about their mission, they live it. They make it a part of every meeting, every strategy session, and every customer interaction. They ensure that every employee, from the intern to the CEO, understands and connects with the why. One of the most powerful ways to reinforce this is through storytelling. People don't just connect with facts and figures, they connect with stories. Leaders who share real-life examples of how their company's work has made a difference help employees see the tangible impact of their efforts. A healthcare company, for example, might share stories of patients whose lives were saved by their innovations. A technology company might highlight how their software helped a small business grow. These stories make the why real, personal, and inspiring. Another critical aspect of starting with why is ensuring that it is authentic. Employees can tell when a company's stated mission is just a marketing slogan rather than a genuine guiding principle. Organizations that claim to prioritize innovation but discourage risk-taking, or that talk about making a difference but focus solely on short-term profits, will struggle to inspire true innovation. The why must be more than words. It must be reflected in actions, policies, and decisions. A decision. Creating a workplace that starts with why also requires leaders to listen. Innovation is not a top-down process. It comes from employees at all levels. You, Joe. Organizations that encourage open dialogue, welcome new ideas, and empower employees to contribute to the larger mission create an environment where innovation flourishes. This means giving employees a voice, recognizing their contributions, and creating opportunities for them to shape the company's direction. Ultimately, innovation that starts with why leads to long-term success. Companies that focus solely on what they do may achieve short-term gains, but those that operate with a clear sense of purpose build lasting legacies. They attract passionate employees, earn customer loyalty, and stay ahead of the competition because their innovations are driven by something deeper than profit. They are driven by a desire to make a real impact. So, whether you're leading a team, running a business, or just looking to be more innovative in your own work, ask yourself, why does this matter? Why is this worth doing? Why should anyone care? When you find your why, you'll find your direction. And when you start with why, innovation becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Innovation thrives in environments where curiosity is not only encouraged, but celebrated. Curiosity is the foundation of discovery, the catalyst for new ideas, and the key to unlocking solutions that have yet to be imagined. When people embrace curiosity, they stop accepting things at face value and start questioning the way things work. They ask, what if? What if? Why not? And how can we make this better? These questions drive progress and push the boundaries of what is possible. However, many workplaces unintentionally suppress curiosity. They prioritize efficiency over exploration, reward certainty over experimentation, and discourage questioning in favor of compliance. Organizations that fail to cultivate curiosity risk stagnation. They continue to operate within the limits of their current knowledge, missing opportunities for innovation and improvement. Curiosity is what separates truly innovative organizations from those that merely adapt to change. When employees feel free to ask questions and explore new ideas, they become active participants in shaping the future of their work. They don't just follow processes, they challenge them. They don't just complete tasks, they find better ways to achieve outcomes. Encouraging curiosity means shifting from a culture of execution to a culture of exploration. It requires leaders to create an environment where questioning is not seen as a challenge to authority, but as a vital part of progress. Employees should never feel that asking, why do we do it this way? We do it this way, is unwelcome. Instead, they should feel empowered to ask, explore, and propose alternatives. Curiosity is not limited to questioning processes, it extends to learning. A curious workforce is a learning workforce. Employees who seek new knowledge, experiment with new technologies, and explore different perspectives bring fresh insights to their work. Organizations that prioritize learning provide opportunities for employees to develop new skills, attend workshops, and engage in cross-functional collaborations. And they recognize that innovation does not come from knowing all the answers, but from constantly seeking better ones. A workplace that fosters curiosity, invests in its employees' growth, understanding that intellectual stimulation leads to greater creativity and problem-solving capabilities. One of the biggest barriers to curiosity is fear. Employees often hesitate to ask questions or challenge existing ideas because they fear being wrong, looking uninformed, or facing resistance. Organizations that value innovation must create psychological safety, an environment where employees feel comfortable expressing their thoughts without fear of judgment or punishment. When people are afraid to be wrong, they stop taking risks. When they stop taking risks, they stop innovating. Leaders must model curiosity themselves. When leaders openly ask questions, seek input, and admit when they don't have all the answers, they set the tone for the entire organization. They create a culture where it is not only acceptable, but expected that people will question, explore, and push boundaries. Curiosity also drives collaboration. Innovation rarely happens in isolation. The most groundbreaking ideas emerge when different perspectives come together, challenging each other's assumptions and building on each other's insights. Organizations that encourage curiosity foster an environment where employees seek out diverse opinions, learn from colleagues in different departments, and engage in meaningful discussions that lead to new discoveries. They break down silos and create networks of knowledge sharing that accelerate innovation. Curiosity leads to resilience. Organizations that continuously ask questions are better prepared to navigate change and uncertainty. They don't just react to disruptions, they anticipate them. They are always looking ahead, exploring possibilities, and preparing for the future. A workplace that embraces curiosity is one that thrives in an ever-changing world, adapting quickly and staying ahead of the competition. Closely tied to curiosity is the need to challenge the status quo. Just because something has worked in the past does not mean it is the best way forward. The world is evolving, and businesses that refuse to evolve with it risk becoming obsolete. Challenging the status quo is not about rejecting everything that came before, but about continuously evaluating whether existing methods are still the most effective. Many organizations fall into the trap of, "This is how we've always done it." This mindset stifles innovation and prevents progress. True leaders and innovators ask, "Is this still the best way? And if not, how can we improve it?" Challenging the status quo requires courage. It is easier to follow the existing path than to create a new one. Those who push for change often face resistance. People are naturally inclined to stick with familiar routines, even when better alternatives exist. Organizations must create an environment where questioning norms is not only accepted, but encouraged. Employees should feel empowered to identify inefficiencies, propose improvements, and experiment with new approaches without fear of rejection. The best ideas often come from those who are closest to the work, those who see firsthand where improvements can be made. Leaders must listen to these voices and take them seriously. One of the most effective ways to challenge the status quo is through experimentation. Instead of making massive, risky changes all at once, organizations should create a culture of small, continuous experiments. Testing new approaches on a smaller scale allows teams to gather data, learn from failures, and refine ideas before making larger commits. This iterative process reduces risk while fostering a spirit of innovation. Companies that encourage experimentation do not see failure as a setback, but as an essential part of progress. They understand that each failed experiment brings valuable insights that lead to better solutions. Innovation requires organizations to remain adaptable. The market is constantly changing. Customer needs evolve, and new competitors emerge. Businesses that cling too tightly to old ways of doing things find themselves struggling to keep up. The companies that thrive are those that embrace change as an opportunity rather than a threat. They continuously challenge their own assumptions, seek feedback, and remain open to new ideas. They are willing to disrupt their own processes before someone else does. Challenging the status quo is not just about processes and policies, it is also about mindset. Employees who believe they have the power to influence change are more engaged, more motivated, and more innovative. Organizations should encourage a sense of ownership, where employees feel responsible for improving their work environment and driving the company forward. When people see that their ideas are valued and implemented, they become more invested in the success of the organization. The companies that stand out are the ones that refuse to accept good enough. They are the ones that ask, "How can we make this better?" and then take action. They recognize that innovation is not a one-time initiative, but an ongoing process. They foster curiosity, challenge norms, and empower employees to think differently. They do not wait for change to happen. they create it. An innovative workplace is one where curiosity and challenging the status quo are embedded in the culture. It is a place where employees feel safe to ask questions, explore new possibilities, and take risks. It is an environment where learning never stops, where diverse perspectives are welcomed, and where leaders inspire others to think beyond what is known. But the most successful organizations are not the ones that play it safe, but the ones that dare to imagine what could be possible. Could be possible. Innovation is not just about having great ideas. It's about creating an environment where those ideas can thrive. Too often, organizations focus on strategy and execution, but overlook one of the most critical factors in innovation: psychological safety. Psychological safety is the foundation of an innovative workplace. It is the belief that one can express ideas, take risks, and challenge the status quo without fear of punishment or embarrassment. When employees feel safe, they contribute freely, experiment with confidence, and push the boundaries of what is possible. Without it, innovation is stifled, as people hesitate to speak up, fearing they will be criticized or ridiculed for their ideas. In many workplaces, there is an unspoken rule: don't rock the boat. Employees are expected to follow instructions, meet deadlines, and stay within their designated roles. While this approach may create stability, it also discourages innovation. People are less likely to share new ideas if they worry about how they will be perceived. They may fear being seen as disruptive, naive, or impractical. When this happens, organizations miss out on the creativity and insights of their most valuable resource, their people. Innovation flourishes in environments where people feel safe to express themselves, even if their ideas are unconventional. Creating psychological safety starts with leadership. Leaders set the tone for the workplace culture. When leaders openly encourage input, listen without judgment, and show appreciation for new ideas, they create an atmosphere of trust. Employees who see their leaders admitting mistakes, asking for feedback, and being open to different perspectives are more likely to do the same. However, if leaders react harshly to new ideas, dismiss contributions without consideration, or penalize failure, employees quickly learn to stay silent. Endeglicate. The best leaders understand that innovation requires vulnerability. They foster an environment where people feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, knowing that their contributions will be valued rather than dismissed. One of the biggest barriers to psychological safety is the fear of failure. In many organizations, failure is viewed negatively, as something to be avoided at all costs. Employees worry that making mistakes will damage their reputation or career prospects. This fear leads to a culture of caution, where people play it safe rather than take risks. But innovation is inherently risky. It involves trial and error, experimentation, and learning from setbacks. Organizations that want to drive innovation must shift their mindset around failure. Instead of punishing mistakes, they should treat them as learning opportunities. They should ask, "What did we learn?" rather than, "Who is responsible for this failure?" When failure is normalized as part of the innovation process, employees are more willing to take creative risks and push boundaries. Encouraging a growth mindset is essential in fostering psychological safety. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort and learning. When employees have a growth mindset, they see challenges as opportunities to improve rather than as threats. Organizations that promote this mindset create a culture where employees feel safe to experiment, receive feedback, and refine their ideas. Leaders can reinforce this by praising effort, encouraging learning, and recognizing resilience. They should celebrate not only successful outcomes, but also the process of innovation itself. In addition to psychological safety, innovation requires a willingness to challenge the status quo. Too often, organizations become comfortable with the way things have always been done. They develop habits, processes, and traditions that may have worked in the past but are no longer effective. When employees question these existing norms, they are often met with resistance. People assume that if something has worked before, it should continue unchanged. But progress does not come from maintaining the status quo. It comes from challenging it. Organizations that foster innovation encourage employees to ask, "Is this the best way? Is this the best way?" They create a culture where questioning is not seen as a challenge to authority. This means welcoming constructive criticism, embracing alternative perspectives, and being open to disruption. Some of the most successful companies in history were built by people who refused to accept the status quo. They looked at industries that had remained unchanged for decades and asked, how can this be better? Companies like Netflix, Airbnb, and Tesla transformed their industries by challenging conventional wisdom and offering new, better solutions. However, challenging the status quo requires courage. Employees who propose new ideas often face skepticism. They may be told that their ideas are unrealistic, impractical, or unnecessary. To overcome this resistance, organizations must create an environment where new ideas are evaluated based on merit rather than tradition. Leaders should ask, what if this could work? Rather than dismissing ideas outright. They should encourage employees to test new concepts through small-scale experiments, allowing data to determine whether an idea has potential. When organizations make it easy for employees to test and refine ideas, they create a culture of continuous improvement. Collaboration is another key ingredient in innovation. The best ideas rarely come from individuals working in isolation. They emerge from diverse teams that bring different perspectives, skills, and experiences to the table. A workplace that fosters collaboration encourages employees to share ideas, build on each other's insights, and work together to solve complex problems. However, true collaboration does not happen by accident. It must be intentionally cultivated. One of the most effective ways to foster collaboration is by breaking down silos. In many organizations, different departments operate independently, with little communication between them. This lack of cross-functional collaboration prevents the free flow of ideas and limits innovation. When teams work in isolation, they miss opportunities to learn from each other and develop new approaches. Organizations that want to drive innovation must create structures that encourage collaboration across teams. This can be done through interdisciplinary projects, shared spaces for brainstorming, and open channels for communication. In addition to structural changes, collaboration requires a shift in mindset. Employees must see their colleagues not as competitors, but as partners in innovation. A culture of collaboration values knowledge sharing over individual achievements. It recognizes that great ideas can come from anywhere, regardless of job title or department. Leaders play a crucial role in modeling this behavior by demonstrating openness to input, actively seeking out diverse perspectives, and promoting teamwork. When employees feel that their contributions are valued and that they are part of a larger mission, they are more likely to collaborate effectively. Technology can also play a significant role in fostering collaboration. Digital tools allow employees to connect across locations, share insights in real time, and work together on projects regardless of physical distance. Organizations that leverage these tools create a more connected and agile workforce, capable of innovating at a faster pace. However, technology alone is not enough. There must also be a culture that encourages and rewards collaboration. Ultimately, innovation thrives in workplaces that combine psychological safety, a willingness to challenge the status quo, and a collaborative spirit. Employees need to feel safe to express their ideas, confident in questioning existing norms, and empowered to work together toward meaningful solutions. Organizations that create this kind of environment unlock the full creative potential of their workforce. They develop breakthrough ideas, adapt to change more effectively, and stay ahead of the competition. The future belongs to those who continuously seek to improve, challenge, and collaborate. Organizations that foster these principles do not simply react to change, they create it. They do not just adapt to the future, they shape it. Those who embrace innovation as an ongoing process rather than a one-time initiative will not only survive in an evolving world, they will thrive. Innovation is not a luxury, it is a necessity. The most successful organizations are not those that simply react to change, but those that drive it. Yet innovation does not happen by accident. It requires intentional effort, a culture that supports experimentation, and a commitment to continuous improvement. It is a process that must be embedded into the very fabric of an organization, rather than treated as an occasional initiative. The key to creating an innovative workplace lies in fostering an environment where ideas are nurtured, risks are embraced, collaboration is encouraged, and learning never stops. Organizations that cultivate these principles will not only remain relevant, but will set the standard for progress in their industry. One of the biggest misconceptions about innovation is that it is the responsibility of a select few, the research and development team, the executives, or the so-called creative employees. In reality, innovation should be everyone's responsibility. When people at all levels of an organization are empowered to contribute ideas and experiment with new approaches, the potential for innovation multiplies. However, this requires a fundamental shift in mindset. Employees need to believe that their ideas matter, that their contributions can drive meaningful change, and that they have the autonomy to challenge existing processes. Organizations must break down the barriers that separate decision makers from employees on the front lines. The best ideas often come from those who are closest to the work, those who see inefficiencies firsthand and understand where improvements can be made. Leaders play a critical role in creating a culture of innovation. Leadership is not just about making decisions and giving orders. It is about creating an environment where people feel safe to experiment, take risks, and voice their ideas. Too often, employees hesitate to propose new ideas because they fear rejection or failure. They worry that stepping outside of the norm will be met with resistance. Leaders must actively work to dismantle this fear by encouraging open dialogue, rewarding creative thinking, and demonstrating that failure is a natural part of progress. When leaders lead with curiosity and openness, they inspire the same qualities in their teams. Employees should never feel that their job is simply to execute someone else's vision. They should feel empowered to shape the future of the organization. Innovation does not happen in a vacuum. The best ideas are often born through collaboration, when different perspectives come together to solve a problem. In traditional workplace structures, departments often operate in silos, limiting opportunities for cross-functional teamwork. However, innovation thrives in environments where knowledge is shared freely, where teams work together to solve challenges, and where diverse viewpoints are welcomed. Organizations must create systems that encourage collaboration, whether through shared workspaces, interdisciplinary projects, or technology that facilitates communication across teams. When employees from different backgrounds and skill sets come together, they bring unique insights that lead to more creative and effective solutions. One of the greatest threats to innovation is a culture of complacency. Many organizations fall into the trap of doing things the way they have always been done, simply because it is familiar and comfortable. However, what worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. The most innovative companies are those that continuously question their own processes, products, and strategies. They do not wait for disruption to force them to change. They proactively seek opportunities to improve. This means embracing a mindset of continuous improvement. Always asking, how can we make this better? It requires organizations to be willing to challenge their own assumptions and to see change as an opportunity rather than a threat. One way to drive continuous improvement is by creating a culture of experimentation. Instead of making large, risky changes all at once, organizations should encourage small-scale testing of new ideas. This allows employees to gather data, learn from mistakes, and refine their approach before committing to a larger change. A culture of experimentation reduces the fear of failure because employees understand that not every idea has to be perfect from the start. Instead of fearing mistakes, they see them as opportunities for learning and growth. Organizations that embrace experimentation move faster, adapt more easily, and develop more innovative solutions than those that are afraid to take risks. Another critical factor in fostering innovation is providing employees with the resources they need to develop their skills and stay ahead of industry trends. Innovation is fueled by knowledge, and organizations that prioritize continuous learning create a workforce that is better equipped to solve problems and generate new ideas. This means investing in training programs, encouraging employees to attend industry conferences, and creating opportunities for mentorship and skill development. A culture of learning keeps employees engaged, motivated, and prepared to contribute to the organization's long-term success. Organizations that prioritize innovation also understand the importance of recognizing and rewarding creative thinking. Too often, employees put effort into developing new ideas only to have their contributions go unnoticed. When this happens, they become discouraged and less likely to innovate in the future. Leaders must actively celebrate and acknowledge innovation, not just when an idea succeeds, but throughout the entire process. This can be done through recognition programs, incentives, or simply by taking the time to appreciate employees who go beyond their usual responsibilities to drive change. When employees see that their creativity is valued, they become more invested in finding ways to improve the organization. Innovation is not a one-time event, it is an ongoing process. Organizations that treat innovation as a short-term initiative rather than a long-term strategy will struggle to sustain meaningful change. To build a truly innovative workplace, organizations must embed these principles into their culture, ensuring that every employee understands the role they play in driving progress. They must cultivate an environment where curiosity is encouraged, collaboration is prioritized, risks are embraced, and learning never stops. The future belongs to those who refuse to accept mediocrity. Organizations that commit to innovation will not only survive, but thrive in an ever-changing world. They will set new standards, inspire new ideas, and shape the industries of tomorrow. The companies that make innovation a priority today will be the ones that define the future. Innovation is not a luxury or a side project. It is the lifeblood of any organization that wants to grow, adapt, and remain relevant in an ever-changing world. The biggest challenge, however, is not coming up with ideas. It is creating an environment where those ideas can be tested, refined, and implemented. Innovation does not happen in isolation. It requires a deliberate effort to foster a culture where creativity is encouraged, where challenges are seen as opportunities, and where people feel empowered to push boundaries. Organizations that successfully cultivate this mindset are the ones that consistently lead their industries, setting new standards rather than following old ones. One of the most fundamental elements of fostering innovation is psychological safety. Psychological safety is the belief that employees can speak up, share ideas, and take risks without fear of being judged, embarrassed, or punished. In many workplaces, employees hesitate to voice new ideas because they fear rejection or criticism. They worry that if they challenge the way things are done, they will be seen as troublemakers rather than problem solvers. This stifles creativity and prevents organizations from benefiting from the full potential of their workforce. When employees feel psychologically safe, they are more likely to engage in open discussions, suggest improvements, and experiment with new approaches. Innovation cannot thrive in an environment of fear and rigidity. It requires trust, openness, and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. Leaders play a critical role in establishing psychological safety. When leaders openly admit mistakes, ask for feedback, and show appreciation for new ideas, they create a culture where employees feel safe to do the same. However, when leaders dismiss ideas without consideration, punish failure, or create an atmosphere of blame, employees quickly learn to stay quiet and stick to what is familiar. The best leaders understand that innovation is a messy process. It involves trial and error, setbacks, and constant learning. They encourage their teams to experiment, knowing that not every idea will succeed, but every attempt will lead to growth. By fostering an environment where risk-taking is encouraged and failure is treated as a learning opportunity, leaders unlock the creative potential of their teams. Another key aspect of fostering innovation is challenging the status quo. Many organizations operate on outdated assumptions and processes simply because they have worked in the past. People become comfortable with routines and resist change because it feels unfamiliar and uncertain. However, true innovation comes from questioning existing norms and asking, is there a better way? The most successful companies are those that refuse to accept things as they are and instead focus on what they could be. They recognize that change is not a threat. It is an opportunity to improve, to evolve, and to stay ahead of the competition. Organizations that embrace a mindset of continuous improvement encourage employees to challenge inefficiencies and outdated processes. They create a culture where asking why and what if is not seen as disruptive, but as essential to progress. When employees feel empowered to question the status quo, they uncover opportunities for innovation that might otherwise go unnoticed. This means encouraging constructive criticism, valuing fresh perspectives, and being open to new ways of thinking. Some of the most groundbreaking innovations in history have come from people who refuse to accept the limitations of their time. Companies like Apple, Amazon, and Google did not succeed by following industry norms. They redefined them. They asked, how can we make this better? And then took action to bring their vision to life. Collaboration is another critical factor in driving innovation. Huh? The most transformative ideas do not come from isolated individuals. They emerge from teams that bring diverse perspectives, skills, and experiences to the table. Too often, organizations operate in silos, where different departments work independently with little communication or collaboration. This limits the exchange of ideas and prevents innovation from reaching its full potential. True collaboration requires breaking down these barriers and creating opportunities for people to share insights, build on each other's ideas, and work together toward common goals. One way to foster collaboration is by encouraging cross-functional teamwork. When employees from different areas of the organization come together to solve a problem, they bring unique viewpoints that lead to more creative solutions. A marketing team may see a challenge differently than an engineering team, and a frontline employee may have insights that executives do not. By facilitating conversations across different levels and departments, organizations create an environment where ideas flow freely and innovation accelerates. Technology can also play a powerful role in enhancing collaboration. Digital tools allow employees to connect across locations, share knowledge in real time, and collaborate on projects regardless of physical distance. However, technology alone is not enough. Organizations must also cultivate a culture that values teamwork, communication, and shared success. When employees feel that their contributions are valued, and that they are part of something bigger than themselves, they become more engaged and invested in innovation. Encouraging a mindset of experimentation is another essential component of fostering innovation. Many organizations operate under the assumption that every initiative must be perfect before it is launched. This perfectionist mindset slows down progress and discourages employees from taking risks. In contrast, the most innovative organizations understand that experimentation is the key to discovery. They encourage employees to test new ideas on a small scale, gather feedback, and refine their approach based on real-world data. This iterative process allows organizations to learn quickly and adapt to changing circumstances. A culture of experimentation also reduces the fear of failure. When employees know that they will not be punished for trying something new, they are more likely to take creative risks. Instead of avoiding uncertainty, they embrace it as part of the innovation process. The most successful companies encourage a fail fast, learn faster mentality, recognizing that every setback is an opportunity to refine and improve. They do not see failure as an endpoint, but as a stepping stone toward breakthrough success. In addition to fostering psychological safety, encouraging collaboration, and promoting experimentation, organizations must also invest in continuous learning. Innovation thrives in environments where employees are constantly expanding their knowledge, developing new skills, and staying ahead of industry trends. When employees stop learning, organizations stagnate. Leaders must prioritize professional development by providing access to training programs, mentorship opportunities, and resources that help employees grow. They should encourage curiosity, support employees in exploring new ideas, and create a culture where learning is not just encouraged but expected. Recognizing and rewarding innovation is another crucial factor in sustaining a culture of creativity. Employees need to feel that their contributions are valued and that their efforts to drive change are appreciated. Too often, organizations focus only on rewarding outcomes, but true innovation requires recognizing the process as well. Leaders should celebrate not only successful ideas, but also the effort and persistence that go into developing them, whether through formal recognition programs, incentives, or simple gestures of appreciation. Acknowledging innovative thinking reinforces a culture where creativity is embraced. At its core, innovation is about more than just new ideas. It is about action. It is about creating an environment where employees feel safe to experiment, empowered to challenge the status quo, and encouraged to collaborate. Organizations that prioritize these principles will not only adapt to change, but drive it. They will not just respond to the future, but shape it. The companies that embrace innovation as a continuous journey rather than a one-time initiative will be the ones that redefine industries, inspire progress, and leave a lasting impact. Innovation is not just about coming up with new ideas. It is about fostering an environment where ideas can thrive, where people feel inspired to challenge the status quo, and where progress is not just encouraged, but expected. Organizations that prioritize innovation do not see it as a separate function or department, but as a core value embedded in their culture. It is not a one-time initiative or a project with a fixed timeline. It is an ongoing commitment to learning, adapting, and pushing boundaries. The companies that truly innovate are those that recognize that creativity does not happen in isolation. It is the result of intentional leadership, a willingness to take risks, and a culture that rewards curiosity and exploration. The first step in building an innovative workplace is fostering a mindset of curiosity. Curiosity is the foundation of all great discoveries. It is what drives people to ask questions, explore possibilities, and find better ways of doing things. Organizations that embrace curiosity create an environment where employees are not just encouraged to follow processes, but to question. They challenge their teams to ask, why do we do it this way? And what if there was a better way? There's a better way. Instead of seeing questions as disruptions, they see them as opportunities for growth. The most innovative companies do not settle for what is known. They actively seek out the unknown. They recognize that innovation is not about maintaining what exists, but about building what comes next. However, curiosity alone is not enough. To turn curiosity into action, organizations must create a culture where experimentation is valued. The fear of failure is one of the biggest barriers to innovation. Employees often hesitate to try new things because they worry about making mistakes or being judged if an idea does not work out. This fear stifles creativity and prevents organizations from evolving. The most innovative workplaces encourage employees to test ideas, experiment with solutions, and learn from their experiences. They do not see failure as something to be avoided, but as an essential part of progress. They create safe spaces where teams can try new approaches, analyze the results, and iterate on their ideas without fear of punishment. Leaders play a crucial role in shaping this culture. When leaders model curiosity, embrace experimentation, and demonstrate that learning from mistakes is part of the process, employees feel more confident in doing the same. Leaders who admit when they do not have all the answers, who ask their teams for input, and who show a willingness to take risks inspire innovation at every level of the organization. The best leaders do not dictate solutions. They create the conditions in which innovation can flourish. They empower their teams, provide them with the tools and resources they need, and give them the freedom to explore new possibilities. Another essential aspect of fostering innovation is collaboration. The most groundbreaking ideas rarely come from a single person working alone. They emerge when diverse perspectives come together, when different skills and experiences intersect, and when people challenge each other to think differently. Yet, many organizations operate in silos, with departments working independently and communication limited. This kind of structure inhibits creativity and slows down progress. To unlock the full potential of their workforce, organizations must create opportunities for collaboration. They must break down barriers between teams, encourage cross-functional projects, and foster an environment where knowledge is shared freely. Technology can be a powerful tool for enhancing collaboration, especially in an increasingly remote and globalized workforce. Digital platforms that allow employees to share ideas, provide feedback, and work together in real time make innovation more accessible. However, technology alone is not enough. Organizations must also cultivate a mindset of teamwork and shared success. When employees see that their contributions are valued, that their voices are heard, and that their work makes a difference, they become more invested in driving change. Innovation is not about competition within an organization. It is about collective progress. When teams work together toward a common goal, they achieve far more than they ever could alone. A strong culture of innovation also requires a commitment to continuous learning. The world is changing faster than ever before. New technologies, shifting consumer behaviors, and evolving market conditions require organizations to be adaptable. Companies that resist change, that rely on outdated knowledge, or that believe they have already mastered their field will quickly fall behind. The most successful organizations recognize that learning never stops. They encourage employees to develop new skills, stay informed about industry trends, and seek out opportunities for growth. They invest in training, mentorship, and professional development programs because they understand that knowledge fuels innovation. Employees who are constantly learning, bring fresh ideas, identify emerging opportunities, and contribute to the long-term success of the organization. Recognizing and rewarding innovation is another critical factor in sustaining a culture of creativity. When employees put effort into developing new ideas, they need to feel that their contributions matter. Too often, organizations focus solely on rewarding productivity and efficiency, overlooking the value of creativity and problem solving. However, if innovation is not recognized, it will not be prioritized. Leaders must actively celebrate creativity, whether through formal recognition programs, incentives, or simple gestures of appreciation. Recognizing both successful innovations and the effort behind them reinforces the message that new ideas are valued. Employees who see that innovation is rewarded will be more motivated to think outside the box and contribute to positive change. Organizations must also embrace the idea that innovation is not just about big, game-changing breakthroughs. While major advancements can be transformative, incremental improvements are just as important. Small changes, tweaking a process, refining a product, or improving customer interactions can have a significant impact over time. Companies that focus only on large-scale innovations often miss opportunities to enhance everyday operations. Encouraging employees to identify and implement small improvements leads to a culture of continuous progress. It sends the message that innovation is not reserved for a select few, but is something that everyone can contribute to, regardless of their role or position. And a key challenge in fostering innovation is overcoming resistance to change. Many organizations struggle with inertia. People become comfortable with the way things are and resist new approaches. Change can be uncomfortable, but it is necessary for growth. The most successful organizations help employees see change not as a disruption, but as an opportunity. They communicate the benefits of innovation, involve employees in the process, and provide support during transitions. When people understand the why behind change and feel that they have a role in shaping the future, they are more likely to embrace new ideas. At its core, innovation is about having the courage to challenge the present in pursuit of a better future. It is about recognizing that progress is not guaranteed. It is created by those who are willing to think differently, take risks, and push beyond the limits of what is known. Organizations that commit to innovation will not only adapt to change, but will be the ones driving it. They will not just react to the future, they will define it. Innovation is not a luxury, it is a responsibility. It is the responsibility of leaders to create an environment where ideas can thrive, where employees feel empowered, and where progress is a shared mission. The companies that prioritize this mindset today will be the ones that shape the industries of tomorrow.